And I was impressed with how regularly and assiduously you use that Stepmaster.
I was there. I did about 400 floors. Well, look at Davies here.
3,000.
3,000 to bet. Grundy gets out of the way. Everybody looks like they're going to get out of the way.
Uh-oh.
Maybe not.
He wants to beat me every hand, this guy.
I think Davies just gave away the power of his hand. I really do. But Minus wasn't paying attention.
What you got left?
How much you got left there, he said.
Barry, when a guy starts complaining about how the guy beats him every hand before he's actually called, he wants a call. And he's going to get it.
Magnus says forget about it.
And that's all that Davies has left in front of him. A mere 12,000.
Oh.
Well,
there
may
it
as
goes.
well, huh?
Minus is compelled to call. There's no decision here.
500 altogether. Open your cards, please, gentlemen.
Davies doesn't look comfortable, does he?
He's got a huge...
Don't worry,
you
it's
know
coming.
what? He was as big of a favorite earlier
Can't beat
on
this guy.
when Minus's flush draw came in. So it's a similar kind of situation here.
Pair of kings against an ace-queen. Now the flop. And there's another queen for Minus with an 8-deuce.
Come on, baby.
One time, I beg you.
And Davies just hoping. 4 on the turn and a 3 on the river. And Davies will live to play another day here.
I need 17,500, please.
Minus can only lick his wounds.
Well, fortunately for that young man, most of the chips that he had to send over to Mr. Davies were Davies to begin with.
But Davies does double up. We're going to take you out now for a little bonus coverage. Joe Hashem is in an all-in situation and eliminates his opponent. But as he does that, word filters down to Joe Hashem that his brother Tony might possibly have been eliminated on another table. So the joy turned into sadness as Joe sees his brother Tony eliminated.
What happened?
Here's what happened.
Tony Hashem made top pair with aces. His opponent had 3 sevens. Hashem needed an ace on the river. No luck.
He's not raising you on the river.
And so Hashem will go over and listen to his brother and his dulcet tones and what he probably should have done.
He's producing like 50,000. That's more than 5,000. It's all right, it's an experience. Which one? Here's what? It's for next time.
So learn for next time. And so now Tony can just look over his brother's shoulder and see how he does. In the meantime, he says, I'm out of here. So are we. We're coming back. The PartyPoker.net Aussie Millions are brought to you by PartyPoker.net, the world's largest poker school. Play continuing here in Melbourne. We are at the Crown Casino. Table of 8 early in this competition.
Small pair.
And the stakes have gone up. Blinds are now 4 and 800 with a 100 ante. There's 2,000 in the pot before anybody looks at their cards.
And Ben Grundy looking at his cards and none too pleased, but nonetheless, he's going to jump into the fray and hard.
Raises to 3,200. That's 4 times the big blind.
Minus with little pair.
Yeah.
Call.
Call.
He's going to call.
The Dutchman Lusk doesn't have a big enough kicker to play with that suited ace. He's out of there.
So is Humanicki. Well, Grundy raising into Minus, and Minus, as you could see,
a huge favorite, but when somebody raises an early position like that, they're supposed to have a big hand. Something like that.
right. Now it'll be interesting to see how Grundy capitalizes on this if he can. He's a decided underdog, as you could see.
Check, check.
Yep, and a jack. And wouldn't you think Grundy would jump here?
With a 5 high. Wow. That seems like a real weak little bet into a pot that size. But again, Grundy only has... He's going all in.
I think that
goodness, and it works.
I think a bold move by Grundy,
and
I
he
thought
shows his cards.
Really well played.
What happened here?
Came to life.
What happened here? What happened on the flop?
I checked.
He made the 2,200 under the gun.
I checked the turn and he bet, and I went all in.
All the players enjoying that hand except that man.
Yeah, he's not enjoying it at all. Well played by the baby-faced Ben Grundy. Take a look at the chip count. These see where things stand right now. It's still Phil Ivey, twice the stack of Marcel Lusk, who's been hanging around all day long. Charbonnet is still there. Russell Davies, Ben Grundy at 33,900. Magnus is the short stack at 13 and change. Ben Grundy, a little bit of smile.
They love to show bluffs. They love to show bluffs.
I did an even better one than that yesterday. I did a much better bluff than that yesterday. I got someone to lay down a set yesterday when I had 4 high.
Well, well, well.
Yes.
Now, one of the ancillary benefits of showing that kind of bold bluff is your table image. The players peg you as a sort of wild maniac who's liable to put in money with anything. And when you do have a good hand, you have a better chance of getting paid off.
No, exactly. And it sets a tone, I think.
What sometimes happens, too, is the rest of the table wants to show that they can bluff just as well, and possibly with even more desperate holdings.
Lusk is going to take this one.
And when there's a player like Phil Ivey at your table, the temptation is sometimes to try to impress him and say, see, I can do what you do on TV.
I had 2 10s. Did I? I know I had 1 10.
I had 2 10s. Oh, maybe I had 1 10. Little bonus coverage now as we take you to another table where Shannon Shore, who you're looking at right here, Stephen Booyah has gone all in against him. There's Stephen. Stephen with an ace-king and Shore with an ace-jack. And the flop is a 7 ace 8, so each player getting a pair, but of course Booyah with the king.
Shore will need a jack.
And on the river it is a jack. And Booyah, just like that.
Booyah gets no respect.
No respect whatsoever. He is eliminated. And Shannon Shore still looking on, kind of in disbelief. So Shore eliminates Booyah. We got more to come, and we're coming back right after this. .net, Aussie Millions.
PartyPoker.net is a good learning tool. Pick up some different strategies, different ideas and thoughts on your game, and I think it certainly, as a resource, can improve your game both as an internet player and as a live player, I'm sure.
I don't think there's any question about that. And these players, of course, always going to school on one another. Hominick, he's still a short stack, throws away a 10-3.